If an attack is expected, the sirens will sound a rising and falling note like this.
Why do different countries have so many strategies when it comes to nuclear weapons, when surely they all want the same outcome, and that is to avoid this?
The heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also, and the works that are therein, shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Governments who make nukes don't actually want to use them. Thankfully, a nuke hasn't been used in combat since 1945. And with that in mind, why exactly are nuclear weapons still a thing? Well, there's this thing called Deterrence Theory, and in books, it looks like this. But in reality, it means that a country can use the threat of blowing another country to smithereens within minutes in order to maintain the status quo. And in theory, that should stop governments from going mad and actually using their nuclear weapons. Another thing that's mad, quite literally, is mutual assured destruction. That's the assumption that all-out nuclear war would lead to the total annihilation of both sides. It's basically suicide, but it ensures that no one has an appetite for it.
Command's forces are capable of extinguishing essentially all life on Earth within a matter of hours.
So that's the theory, but how does it work in real life? North Korea's already got a nuclear weapon, but it wants more. And Iran is giving the impression that it's trying to build a nuclear weapon. And it may actually be building a nuclear weapon. It really depends on who you ask. Israel pretends it doesn't have any, whereas the USA and Russia have loads, and they don't hide it.
The new long-range standoff weapons, a nuclear-tipped cruise missile, will replace the B-52's current nuclear cruise missile.
There are reports that Russian nuclear weapons expansion is now underway.
So why is it all so complicated? Well, let's go back to the theory. Remember the line to maintain the status quo? Well, certain world leaders like the idea of nukes because they want to stay in power, and therefore that might deter anyone from pursuing any sort of foreign intervention or regime change in their country. Gaddafi wanted nukes, but he didn't get them. And look what happened to him.
They pulled him out of the hole, and one fighter told me that Muammar Gaddafi said to him, "What did I do to you?"
But other world leaders don't like the idea of being perceived as the main aggressor in the region.
Is that you won't even confirm that you have nuclear weapons when the world already believes that you do. Why? Why keep that quiet?
Well, you can make all your assumptions. One thing is clear, Israel is not threatening the annihilation of any country.
Despite, all the aggression. So while nukes might seem like they're all about war, they're actually all about politics.